Colton here in the newsroom. Trading just opened seconds ago, and you can see right here with the big board behind me that stocks are up right now 1,300 points. Analysts did expect to see a major rebound after 3 days of consecutive losses. Yesterday, as we know, stocks fell sharply before rising dramatically amid some reports of a potential pause on tariffs that was false before those stocks ended about 300 points lower. Global markets also rebounding modestly this morning, but things still pretty murky as President Trump threatening even more tariffs on Chinese imports. Chinese officials saying this morning that they will fight to the end in this escalating trade-off. Of course, this is what's happening on Wall Street, but what does it happen, or what does it mean for those of us on Main Street and when it comes to your money? Let's send things over to Kylie, who picks it up here from on this standpoint with our team coverage. Good morning, Kylie.
Good morning. You know, a lot of folks have questions. You've seen the headlines, and we've been answering some of the big questions that you may have about your hard-earned money. So this morning, we've got Angelica Prescott, a financial advisor with Edward Jones, joining us this morning. You've been doing this for nearly 20 years.
Yes.
You've seen a lot of turbulent times. Right now, we see the Dow is up by a little over 3%. What do you make of what we're seeing so far in the first few minutes of trading today?
Well, we're going to see a little bit of optimism, people trying to take advantage of that down price, that cheaper price to purchase. So I'm happy to see that it's rebounding, but still, we're not out of the way. We're still going to see some fluctuations and volatility. It's going to be a rough ride, but we're going to make it through.
What do you expect, and how should people buckle up for the next week, the next few weeks, months, etc.?
If I were you, I would actually tighten up my budget and see how many times I can purchase things that are quality investments at a cheaper price. Everyone knows how to get this jacket on sale, but not everybody knows how to get these things on sale. So right now, purchasing on a steady basis and taking advantage of this opportunity is what we should be doing.
So when you mean purchase, I mean, yeah, we can go to TJ Maxx and purchase a new blazer, but what kind of stocks, what should we be purchasing? A lot of novice investors out there,
Yeah.
it's kind of over our heads sometimes.
Well, that's where financial advisors come in. People like myself who've been doing this for over 20 years, contacting them and making sure you have an expert working on you. Like getting a heart surgery, you wouldn't do it yourself. Get an expert to come work with you. Same thing with these investments when we're talking about serious money. But there are also other venues where they can kind of tap into it on their own and trade and buy things that you're familiar with. Warren Buffett says it, if I don't understand it, I don't buy it. So try to buy into things that you understand and have a history of performing well.
Now, do you buy things that are, you know, artificial intelligence and the tech stocks, or are you encouraging folks to buy things that have been around for decades and decades?
I think both. I think having tech and having things that have that longevity work for you because it's all about diversification. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. This is not like a marriage. You can be with investments with A, B, C, and D. So everything you just said is actually correct.
Okay, wow. I like that analogy there. Cash, you know, I think a lot of people this time, they're like, oh, I need to keep more cash. What is your advice to people? Because we know that you look at your checking account or your savings account, it doesn't grow very much.
Right. 3 to 6 months at most, but do not hold on cash because inflation is still coming. And last I checked, it never retires. So you want to make sure your money's in positions where it can stay ahead of inflation. If you hold on to too much cash, you might actually be hurting yourself.
What do you say to those nervous Nellies who maybe are calling you, or they're calling their financial advisor, or they want to, you know, take money out of the stock market? Like, how are you telling them? I know buy low, right?
Yes.
But easier said sometimes than done.
I like to teach when I work with my clients. So if you want a financial advisor that teaches, I'm that type of person. In those calls, we educate. How could it ever be low if the stock market doesn't go down? How could we ever buy low if we don't have opportunities like this? So this is what it looks like. And when there's blood in the water, be a shark, not a fish. Take advantage of it.
Okay, wow. If we do have a little bit of money, like let's say we've got a few $1,000s, we want to do something with it. Where should we put that right now?
Well, first, it all depends on what you're currently holding. It's almost like someone making rice and peas versus someone making steak. It depends on what you already have in your portfolio. Make sure it balances out. And for those investments that have performed well for you historically, buy those low now that they're depreciated in value. Take advantage of making your average price much cheaper.
What about, last question before we're going to talk about 401ks in the 7:30 hour, but you know, somebody's watching, they're on the verge of retirement. They're 61, they were thinking about retiring at 62. Now they're looking at the market, they're going, I don't know. What do you say to them?
Well, first of all, we should not be that heavy in the market right now if you're that close to retirement. So that's some missing on strategies and having someone help them walk through. But if you're in that seat no matter what, I would say see opportunities to be able to possibly retire, but do maybe a side job that kind of carries you so you can give this portfolio a chance to rebound back up.
Okay, coming up in the 7:30 half hour, we're going to talk more about 401ks. What do you want people, what's your tease for folks to tune in at 7:30? Because a lot of us, we've got our 401k, right?
Oh,
and
yeah.
that's it.
Yes.
So what can people learn coming up in an hour?
We're going to be talking about how to make sure that you are making your money work for you. And that 401k, let's make sure this moment makes you much more successful in the future.
Okay. Angelica Prescott joining us, financial advisor with Edward Jones. Simone, again, continuing the conversation coming up in an hour right here on Good Morning Arizona.
I absolutely love the analogies. Angelica, thank you so much. And Kyle.